Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another edition. We're back of the Steve and Mike Show, episode 75. As always, my name is Mike Larkin. Joining me once again is my homie G, my top dog, the one and only Stevie Nicks. Homie, we're back and we're in video form, bro.
We are in video, and some of you might regret that. We apologize for the horrid sights that you're seeing. Mike Larkin was created in a lab, so that's why he is the way he is. It was an experiment gone horribly wrong. And as you can see, this is why we need to put more funding into the American private and public medical research sectors, because this is unacceptable. This is
That's what I think of you, sir. Oh man, but yeah, no, we're
How
back.
you doing? How you doing, Mike Larkin? It's been way too long.
It has been. It has been. And I'll say a programming note here for everybody. So our last episode was 3 months ago, and we said we're back. And well, now we're 3 months later. So programming notes, so we stay consistent and we bring you guys quality content and quality shows. We'll be doing this once a month. So y'all get to see our faces once a month, and we get to talk about a whole lot of, and just do what we do. Ain't that right, my homie G?
Either you get used to it or you'll turn us off after 5 minutes. And either way, that's okay. Because we're at the end of the day, we love it that we have fans, but we do this for us.
Yes.
Right, Mike Larkin? I mean, we love to do this no matter what, and we're just so psyched that anyone is along for the ride. And if you guys continue to hang, we first of all, again, thank you for everybody who's hung with us this long, and for the new people who are along for the ride, welcome aboard. Strap in, hold on tight. It's going to be a bumpy ride, but hopefully there might be some fun along the way.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, I look at it from a stance too as well. Homie, we just passed our 7 years of officially starting this show. It started, and here's where this actually ties in. It's 2014. You and I were sitting on my couch, my big comfy couch back in East Islip. You brought up the idea of the podcast. And then months later in 2015, the summer, we started this bad boy. So we are 7 years strong, my homie G.
I brought up the idea of a podcast multiple times, Mike Larkin.
Yes, you did.
Multiple times. And you were like, every time you were like, oh, no, I don't know, man. I don't really know about a podcast. I'm not really sure about that. And then all of a sudden, I know in summer 2015, all of a sudden he turns around to me and he goes, hey, I think we should start a podcast. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me right now?
I would just like to say it was my idea for
you son of because I'm all about that positivity, man.
Of course, the positivity, just bring it out there. All about the positivity, the good vibes.
All about me. That's my idea. Only me and nobody else.
It's all me, damn it. But no, that's what you get with this show. And first and foremost, man, the world has gone bananas. This shit is bananas. BANANAS. I was talking to you about this. Mills Lane today, God rest his soul, passed away. Let's get it on. Celebrity Deathmatch, legendary referee, Judge Mills Lane. Homie, 85 years old, forget all
Mills. Yeah. Well, I mean, you can't say that he was gone too soon. I mean, 85 is a pretty good long life. And do you know how he went out? Do we know that yet?
No, well, they didn't say, but if I was to venture a guess, I mean, natural causes, the man was 85 years old.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully he went peacefully, and it wasn't a painful experience. And I mean, Mills Lane was just an absolute legend. He was one of these real old school, don't take no shit from anyone type guys, right? Mm-hmm. And he really was a judge. He was, in fact, he became a judge on the People's Court, right, Mike Larkin? Like, yes, one of the original guy on, right? I think was that Wapner?
No,
he was on one of them, right? He was on.
Yeah. He was on the People's Court, I believe.
Yeah, he was on the People's Court, and so was Wapner.
Yep.
And then later on, he somehow gets this job to play himself on Celebrity Deathmatch on MTV.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of even catapulted him further up into like iconic status and introduced him to a younger generation. And I mean, he was the type of guy that like seemed like, always came to work hard, or whatever he was doing, he was putting his 110% into it, but wasn't such a hard ass that he couldn't have a laugh. Like, he could be a real funny guy, right? McLaren, like with that dry type of humor, like he could be pretty funny. Like he would probably be the type of guy you'd want to have a beer with, actually, because like you know, he knows we work hard, play hard. That type of guy. I like that. That's one of my mottos. I like a guy like that.
Absolutely no. He was one of those guys where, for me, like the introduction that we had, and I'll say this right now because you brought up a great point here: the original Celebrity Death Match, not the newer Celebrity Death Match that came out.
Yes.
Yeah, the OG Celebrity Death Match will always take the cake for me with him. It's MTV, man, the iconic years of MTV.
Yeah, I mean, they tried to bring that show back, I think twice, right?
Yes, they tried for a second time and then nothing. Like I said, you can't
And
be the first one. It's like when they tried to bring back TRL when you're in a day and age where everything on YouTube is pretty much Vivo and stuff, and you're trying to bring back TRL now. It's like, why? And that makes no sense.
oh, I mean, like that theoretically could still it's different with music videos, but like theoretically that could work as a show. Like Celebrity Deathmatch could still work today as a show, but
Yes.
the problem is they're not doing it right. They don't have the right people involved. They don't have the right creative teams behind it, the right writers. It just doesn't look or feel the same as the original did, and that's kind of a big problem. And we'll always have the original though, right? Michael Clark will always have the original Celebrity Deathmatch. So
That we
at
will.
least there's that, and we'll always have Mills Lane, and we thank Mills for all the great years of entertainment that he gave us, and um, you know, just may he rest in peace, right? And we send our best
Yep.
to his friends and family, and to all of his fans all over the world, because he didn't really start out trying to be an entertainer, but he ended up being one. He ended up being a pretty good one. So, and he starts off, being a lawyer and a judge, and then, he's in, comedy shows and cartoon shows and stuff. And
He was also
really,
he was also the one who disqualified Tyson and Holyfield, man.
yeah, that's right. That's right. He was a boxing referee too. That's right. He really
Yep.
was a boxing referee. So, I mean, he lived quite the life. I can't believe I left that out.
That's,
Um,
well, no,
he lived quite the life, and he will be missed by many. And yeah, and he rest in peace.
and speaking to someone else, we're going to talk about this because this broke our hearts too as well. The one and only Kirstie
Broke
Alley
my heart.
broke my heart.
Bad.
Bad. Passing away at 71 due to cancer. Kirstie Alley, man, one of our personal favorites from the Look Who's Talking series. Cheers, North and South with Patrick Swayze and many of those good times back from the.
You better have mentioned that.
Yes. Are you doing this because you wants to do this? Or are you doing this because you have to do this? Kirstie, the woman gets disowned by her family. It's about the Civil War. Like I said, 3 books: book 1, book 2, book 3 of North and South.
Yeah. Miniseries.
Miniseries. Yes.
And honestly, Mike Larkin, like we've actually because we've talked about her before on the podcast. Like she is definitely top 5 hottest actresses of the 80s.
Yeah, I would go definitely top 5. She's probably
I would yeah.
She's like my number. She's like my number 2 or 3.
Yeah, she's around like three or four. She's definitely in the top. Like she was when she was in her prime in like the mid 80s, like yeah, she's pretty good. Like that's goddamn. Like, and then for a while she still had it going on. And then you remember, like, out of nowhere, she got really fat. Like Larkin.
She gained a lot of weight. And I remember she was doing the Jenny Craig diet. She's known for the Jenny Craig diet.
She did that, but then like she never really.
It fluctuated. Like she looked good, and then she would gain the weight back. Like she fluctuated a lot.
She never really fully gained her figure back. Like she never really like kind of had it after that. Like it was kind of set. Like once she like let go of herself, like she just couldn't. See, that's the thing with looks. Like you have to maintain them consistently throughout as you get older. Like especially if you're a woman, because like once you lose it, you don't really get it back. Like that's it. Once they fade, and then that's it. And that was just hard because I felt like she still had some good years left in her, and then like she just fell off the wagon, and it was like, oh, remember when she did the guest spot on? I can't remember. She did a guest spot on the King of Queens.
Yes.
As herself. I'm like, this is so stupid, but I'm like, she goes, I'm on a diet. Can you eat the donut for me and I'll enjoy it through you? I'm like,
Yes, I
my
remember that.
God. Uh, I don't know who I feel worse for right now.
Yep.
The people who have to write for Kevin James
Oh
or
God.
me for having to watch it. Don't get me started on Paul Blart
Oh, we got to talk about this here because you're starting on it. You wanted your money back. I did not see it in the theaters like you did, kind sir. I did not. I just rented it and they gave it back.
If I ever meet Kevin James,
Gonna punch him
I'm
out the nose.
asking for my mom's $20 back.
I'm asking for my mom's $20 back. Oh yes, you hated him so much, and it makes me laugh to this day. Ugh.
I
Now
didn't laugh. That was the problem. I didn't laugh, Mike Larkin.
I know, but it wasn't a funny movie. It wasn't that good. You know what I'm
It
saying?
wasn't that good, even though Anna Faris was in it.
Yes. Oh, well, speaking of this, I got to mention this because you mentioned, losing it before. Not just lose it, go crazy. But I have to ask you, is it true if you don't lose it, if you don't use it, you lose it?
Is that a serious question?
No, no, it's not.
Mike Larkin, you know what's probably one of the most hilarious things about that? We're going off on a tangent now. But you know what's one of the most funniest things about that scene?
What?
And that is the woman who is doing that class is Steve Carell's real life wife.
That is amazing to know. Wow. Okay.
And isn't that freaking hysterical?
That is amazing. I did
Like
not
the
know
two
that.
of them are just sitting in a room just making sex jokes with each other. I'm like, that is like hilarious.
Yep. That's that's the ultimate scene and that's the ultimate spot. I like it. Yeah.
That is, and oh my God, what another great movie.
But no, yeah, rest in
But
peace.
yeah,
Alley, man.
Kirstie Alley, man, like,
Well, she's been one of my favorite Disney movies. Do you remember Toothless?
Crazy Tooth Fairy. Yes, I do. I
That
do remember Toothless.
one of my favorite Disney movies. She dies and then she becomes the Tooth Fairy, and then she comes back to life at the end.
He still kind of had it going on at that point, Mike Larkin.
That was early '90s, yeah, early.
Yeah, pretty hot Tooth Fairy, Mike Larkin.
So yeah, I agreed wholeheartedly with you on that she was a very Tooth Fairy. And besides Kirstie Alley, we also lost one of our absolute favorites, the one and only Coolio. God rest his soul, Coolio.
We haven't done an episode since Coolio died.
Nope.
That's like forever ago now, Mike Larkin. Like,
but still, like
you do 2 deaths from today, and then you do one from like that feels like 5 months ago.
Well, he was one of our boys, and we love Coolio, the Keenan and Kel theme.
Yeah, we were best friends with him, Mike Larkin. He was such our boy. We were like so close, Mike Larkin. Like we had a close personal relationship.
Take it to the hub. I mean, well, he did one of the LFC shows.
I love how you lend with. I like when I talk about his songs, like I just throw "Take It to the Hub" just in there like randomly, but you fucking let off.
Of course, why wouldn't I?
So many other obvious choices. Let's take it to the hub.
I had to. That's your jam. Why wouldn't I do that?
It is my jam. But like when you're usually talking to people about Coolio, that's never the first song that comes up ever.
Well, that's all you. You got to take it to the hub. I had to relate to you. Take it to the hub. You're all about the hub. You go to the port hub. God bless.
I know that. I know what song I would have put first.
Just saying. I'm trying to relate to you. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to come up to your level.
You're trying to relate.
Yes. So you had great songs like
yes. You're making it seem like all I talk about or think about is sex.
All day I dream about sex. All day I dream about fuck. Okay, Corn.
All day I dream about sex.
Okay, Corn. But no. Yes. But yeah, no. Coolio with Gangsta's Paradise, and of course Slide Sippity Slide on that fantastic voyage. One of my personal favorites, Rolling with the Homies from Clueless. Rest in peace, Brittany Murphy. That was our song. Rolling with the Homies. Yep. But man, we've lost a lot of amazing people, but god dang it, man. 2022, what a year in itself. You know what I'm saying? We're moving on.
You forgot It's All the Way Live.
It's All the Way Live from Eddie with Whoopi Goldberg and Frank Langella. Yep.
Hey, Frankie Langella,
Mamma mia, tutti frutti, magnifico. So,
hey, paisan.
Hey, paisan. But no, that was Coolio. But yeah, no, that movie, first and foremost, a very underrated movie is Eddie with Whoopi Goldberg and Frank Langella. Have you actually seen the whole movie? It's not that big.
Mike Larkin?
Yes.
I don't know if I told you this before.
Yes.
I own a VHS copy of Eddie in a Blockbuster box.
Yo, why that's old school, but why do you have a copy of it in a Blockbuster box?
So, like, for whatever reason, I got really into this movie, and I was like around like late middle school, and the Blockbuster in Levittown was closing down, and they were just, instead of renting the movie, you could just buy it from them for like $3.
Okay.
So I went in there and I bought their copy of Eddie, and they let me keep the Blockbuster box.
That's badass.
Yep. So I've had that. It's in my basement now. You locked up in my basement, Mike Lock.
I was about to say, was Dr. Dre locked in your basement? Haha. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm probably never going to watch that again, but it's pretty cool.
I mean, it was a good movie. I mean, she's a fan that gets to be the coach, and I mean, Rick Fox is in it. You see a lot of cameos from a lot of great basketball players in it. John Sally, not bad at all, but yeah, that was one of the movies that Coolio's "It's All the Way Live" was in. Probably the only movie it's in.
You know what it is? I'm not really a Whoopi Goldberg fan, Mike Larkin, so I'm not really, I don't.
Well, yeah, we know how you feel about Sister Act 1 and 2.
Oh, not even that. I wasn't even going to bring that up. I just find her completely intolerable. Just
okay. Well, I'll say this. So with her movies, I did not mind Sister Act 2 back in the habit because I think it's a great story, and I like Lauren Hill because Lauren Hill.
She don't pay her taxes, Mike Larkin.
Oh God, now who doesn't pay? Who does pay their taxes? But still, no, it's
Hello, IRS.
IRS.
His name is Larkin. LARKAIN. They want your sexual orientation, Mike Larkin. What should I tell them?
Just shut up. How about you just shut up? All right. How about you just shut up? But no, that's that's that. But no, I think that's cool that you had it in your Blockbuster video. That it's like when you had Eiffel 69 on Blue Abadi Abadai when you were 9 on CK.
First of all, it was Eiffel 65.
Eiffel 65, yeah.
And second of all, I have no idea what the hell you're talking about, Mike Larkin.
Whatever. You gave away the CD because it's Eiffel 65. That was the same time around when we had Dirty Vegas, and that was still one of our jams. Days go by, and still I think of you.
That was like 2 years later, 3 years later.
Yes, one of our favorites. Friggin' 20 years later, man. It's a fucking great song.
Oh, can you not remind me how long it's been since then? Like,
I know. Well, we're getting older, man. I'm 30. You're 31. Gonna be 32 next year. We're getting older, man.
Next month,
next year.
Next month, Mike Larkin. Thanks. Thanks for reminding me.
When's Steve Nicoforo's birthday again?
What's Mike Larkin's birthday again? February 24th, March 25th.
It's April 13th. May he rest in peace.
But you know what though? Yes, may Travis rest in peace. He helped me remember your birthday though.
Yes.
Because I couldn't forget it because he kept always asking me to remind him. So
yes. Well, we'll never forget each other's birthdays. Yours is the January 20th. Every time it goes around. Well, you already got my friggin' Christmas present already. You're just like, oh, wait till you see your Christmas present. Do you already have it done already?
No, it's not done all right. I didn't send it out or anything. But
I'm just saying, did you pick something out for me? And I'm looking forward to this.
Well, you saw the shirt.
What? No, fuck you. The room's starting to spin because of the gayness. No, it's a fucking asshole.
Look, man. I mean, I'm just you gotta be able to express yourself, Mike Logan. I'm trying to help you with that.
Express yourself. Don't go for seconds now, baby. But no. Well, that was the thing too, and it's funny that we brought up something that's from 20 years ago because I was going through the YouTube, man, and it had one of our jams, both seasons. I'm talking about Taina. No, you're gonna see my name in lights. Nothing's gonna stop me. You'll see I will go far. Taina. Always knew that I'd be a star. You'll be saying my name.
That was during the time when Nickelodeon was trying to diversify, Mike Larkin.
Yes.
They had Taina,
the brothers
Garcia,
yep,
and my cousin Skeeter.
Yep.
And do you know that actually that song is actually Skilo, Mike Larkin? It's actually, they say Skilo, Mike Larkin.
I know Stilo by 702.
Did you know that song, Mike Larkin? That's actually a pretty good song. You should check it out.
I know that song. This is me you're talking about. I know that song. It's one of my jams, 702. Stilo, where my girl's at from the front to back and under.
I don't need that.
Yep.
Can you repeat that?
I tried to take
Oh,
fancy. I don't need that, so don't play yourself.
that is a great song. And then, but because we all know what they were trying to do, but
But no, that was also the same year that they had that dumbass show No One Knows Best that only lasted like a month or two because they were trying to do like a male version of Clarissa Explains It All.
what about Caitlin's Way, Mike Larkin?
That show. Okay.
Trying
It's
to be like Carlito's Way, but with a girl, because that's what they need. Good stories need to have the genders reversed, Mike Larkin.
well,
Take
this one
that.
was she was a troubled youth and got kicked out of school and she stole.
I've seen the show.
I know, I'm telling for the people. She stole. She was a troubled youth. She moved to her cousin's ranch in Montana with her horse that she rescued named Bandit. And all the damn time she was with the damn horse. It's like, we get it. You love horses. All right. And the show really just went nowhere after that. It's like, I know she meant stuff that was important to her mom, but it went nowhere.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, like all these people, all these pretend wannabe pop psychologists, like Dr. Phil. They
Yeah.
think that like sending a troubled youth to a farm to go, be with horses is somehow like not gonna want to make them kill their parents. Like what does that have to do with anything?
I guess discipline. I guess sort of kind of.
How are you getting disciplined by taking care of them? I don't understand. I don't know. I feel like that's not actual therapy, Mike Larkin. Like, these kids, they're getting predilections, people making fun of me, might want to go shoot up my school. Oh, I know. I'll go to a farm and I'll go brush and take care of them, feed some horses, and then,
Milk,
poof, I'm cured.
milk,
Now I don't want to shoot up the school anymore. Now I want to ride horses. It's like,
milk the cows, feed the chickens. Not going to kill the school today.
how do we get? How do you get from point A to how does that take care of problem A? How does how does how does solution B take care of problem A? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me, Mike Larkin. Like, how does that work?
I get it too, man. Like with everything that's going on. Well, first and foremost, I'm tired of these goddamn shootings. We're getting in schools, college, and everything. We got to stop this shit. And also, there's a way to discipline kids. Like, you know what I'm saying? I understand the disciplinary things, but that doesn't mean like, okay, I'm gonna go to the farm and I'm gonna friggin' feed the horses and I'm gonna feed the chickens. That doesn't make me want to like not do anything of that. I get it, they're trying to be disciplined, but also at the same time, like they try to steer a lot of these kids straight by going to the jail cell to see what it's gonna be like when you're actually in the jail cell. But a lot of times that doesn't even work. I mean, look at that girl on fucking Dr. Phil, Catch Me Outside. How about that? She became like very rich and she fucking made a ton of money just from that one line and her fucking rap.
It was on OnlyFans and was on OnlyFans.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And it just like,
And I know for a fact that those Scare Straight programs do not work because Mike Larkin went to one and he sure as hell
again, it comes back to this bullshit, whatever. Okay. So
I'm sorry, Mike Larkin. I had to throw that in.
of course you do. That's fine. No, and I'll be honest with you, that's totally fine. We only joke. First of all, I've been taking this abuse, not really abuse, but this love and our friendship. This is what you know what it's funny about this too? Because people have watched this show and people ask me, it's like, what's going on with the two? I'm like, this is how we joke. He'll call me gay and make fun of my sexuality. I'll tell him that he has a bunzada. It's our sick little relationship. It's how we vibe. It's how we go. This is us, people. This is what
I'll explain. Like, we do this because we know that we can, and it's the ultimate display of trust. It's the ultimate. It's the ultimate showing of I care about you, and you can trust me.
Yep.
Because we do this shit all the time,
and we just put it in front of the microphone for you people.
Yeah, and it doesn't bother us at all. We do it. We give it and we take it and. It's just a way. It's one of the ways it's actually weird. It's a weird like bonding thing for us, right, Mike Larkin? It's like a weird
years, yeah.
Some guys, like that's how like they like get closer is through like ripping on each other, but it's not really like. See, that's the thing. Like girls don't understand. Like guys can like be vicious and also at the same time be playful.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, guys can like play fight. Like, girls don't get that. Girls don't get how to play fight.
Not at all. It's like just, hey, dickhead, how you doing? And then he'll be like, hey, what's up, asshole? You know what I'm saying? Like, we'll go back and forth.
And it's like it's like we're best friends. Like,
Well, it's like when you got your glasses and I said, oh, hey, Elton John, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? And you got so fucking pissed at me. See, there's the face. You did. You look like fucking Elton John with your glasses.
Notice how I'm not wearing any glasses today, Michael.
I know. Well, that's what I'm saying. But you guys should see with his glasses. He legit looks like Elton John singing Crocodile Rock. This train don't stop here anymore, baby. That's what it is. It's Elton John all day, every day.
You know what, Michael? I can,
Yes.
you know, that's all, folks. No.
Oh god, well, my pug nose. Look at that shit stick up, baby. No, it's but that's how it is. Like, girls don't understand that. No, to go to your point, they don't. Like you and I can do this all the time. And like, first of all, the fact that like we get closer. A lot of girls don't find this funny. You know what I'm saying? Girls don't, play fight with each other. You know what I'm saying? It's always cat fighting around. You know what I'm saying? It's a difference between men and women. Rawr. Oh god, I had to friggin' deal with that in my friggin' senior year in fucking high school, man. Fucking just trying to get to my fucking locker.
Well, another random high school. Oh, that kid, where the hell did that come from? Where the fuck
where
did
the hell did that come from? But no, so fucking cat fight just coming right out of the fucking bathroom as I'm just trying to get to my locker. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? We had a lot of those in school, man. Everybody just fighting out of nowhere. Everybody was just angst. I mean, you threw kids up against lockers and throwing people. You know about that life.
No, Mike Larkin, I do not know anything about throwing kids up against lockers. What the hell kind of a person do you think I am, Mike Larkin? Jesus Christ.
No, I will not take my pants off. No, I will not make out with you. Chlorophyll, more like
chlorophyll. Mike Larkin, I never did that.
Yeah, you did. You did.
I never did.
You did. You're laughing about it. Like, you did. You're just throwing kids around. You know who I'm talking about.
I didn't throw him literally into a locker. I threw him against a locker.
Get the fuck out of my Just get the fuck
and Mike Larkin, can we be honest? Can we be real? Like,
yeah, we'll be real. Yeah.
It needed to be done.
Oh, yeah.
It needed to be. I only did it because it needed to be done. This kid was...
He deserved it all the way.
He needed to be put in his place. And while that place probably was inside a locker, I did not have the heart to put him inside this. I'm fucking. I know it sounds. You're making me sound terrible right now. By the way, you realize this, right? But oh, he deserved it. I threw him against the locker. No. Mike Larkin, listen. You know who I'm talking about.
I know.
So you know.
I know who you're talking about.
Yes. So you know that when I say he had it coming, he had it coming. He had it coming. Okay. Like, I didn't do anything that, wasn't out of line or anything. Okay. Like, this was a two-way situation here, Mike Larkin. Okay. Like, I'm not a bully, Mike Larkin.
No.
Okay, Mike. Why do they cut the bad words out of the rap videos, Mike Larkin?
Okay. That movie will always be the fucking shit for that line. Why they gotta call the cuss words out of there? Nowadays, everybody want to talk. They got something to say. Something motherfucker exactly forgot about Jerry. That is still one of the greatest movies, and then the whole thing is just like the fucking movie. You know what I'm saying? When he's filming them having sex, it's funny as fuck. Oh
yeah, and then they all get together and they kill him in the end.
Yay!
Yay! Sam, the best you ever had. Sam, the best you ever had.
The best you ever had.
I told you he was kinky.
He was kinky. Fucking that movie. It's still.
Yeah, that's what's weird. See, it's weird because they are friends at first.
And then, but they can't take it anymore. Oh, because the kid go to the freaking gay bar and he's up there dancing and shit. And then all of a sudden he's like, oh, it's my friend. You know what I'm saying? Oh, but we shouldn't have done this. But they get together and it's like, they're all friends. Everything's friendly. Then it's just like, I can't take this anymore. He's afraid. Somebody's got to put him in his place. We got to teach him a lesson. And then they fucking.
See, like, that's kind of how it works. Like, Larkin, then, but I don't kill people. I just push them up against lockers. Mike Larkin, like that's how that works. And I find it very interesting that the first scene that you brought up was the gay bar scene. Like, it's just very interesting that you decided to bring that.
I hate you. But no, that was the interesting part. And also that's the thing about today's generation. It's like, when you say words and the verbiage, like put them in their place, we can't do that now. We got to try to find the root of the problem.
Yeah, no, I know. I've been like, this, even if it's in self-defense, like.
Yeah, it's like, oh God, what are you doing?
it's just every and people just want to just treat everything with kid gloves now, and it's just like,
Stop it.
how are we supposed to function as a society if we don't even know what we can say anymore, and we don't even know what's even acceptable anymore? We don't even know what we're allowed to do anymore, and it's like, you need to give people a certain amount of leeway, because people are not, yeah, no, people are can be very terrible and racist and fucking fucked up in the head and all that bullshit we know. But I don't think people are as bad, they are as ill meaning and or as racist or as homophobic or whatever as people think they are. I think for the most part, um, people nowadays anyway are pretty tolerant, but there's this overprotectiveness of almost every race and every creed and every orientation or whatever. Like, and it's just,
Well, yeah, but the they, them, and the whole thing now, the them, they, them, and that whole shit that's going on now. We can't identify.
and yeah, I mean, and you can't, and heaven forbid anyone should say anything, critical or have anything, even constructive to say that if it makes anyone feel uncomfortable, then you're not allowed to like talk anymore,
Well,
basically.
it's like you can't put it bluntly. Like if I'm to tell somebody that they suck, or you're not doing this right, you can do it better. It's like, oh God, you're criticizing me, you're out to get me. No, you want bluntness. I'm going to give you bluntness. I have a New York attitude. We have New York attitude. Fucking, I'm going to give it to you blunt. I'm going to give it to you straight. You suck. You know what I'm saying? And I don't mean to sound insensitive or mean, but you asked me what I think. I gave you what I think. So don't be pissing and moaning about it. You know what I'm saying? They do better.
Yeah,
I'm saying let it motivate you, but we don't do that anymore because we have to fucking go cry
yeah.
in the corner. And the other issue that we have, like I said this to my buddy Chris the other day, and I said, look at the Thong song back in 2000, right? When Cisco came out, we loved the Thong song, right? Fucking, if that came out now, oh God, it would be a whirlwind because we should not be betraying women like this with that thong, the thong, 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 and all this stuff. We would have an uproar about the fucking thong song.
And he's sitting on the toilet, and the kid comes in, and he goes, "Daddy, what are these?"
What are these?
And he gives like, to the look, Michael, to the look.
So, no, it's not even that. He does that, and then he just turns.
Ooh, that girl's so skinny.
Handle this, and you know another minute can't handle this. The name of the album was Unleash the Dragon. We know what dragon he's looking to unleash there, man.
Oh yeah, he got like Kevin Little and his Python, right, Mike Larkin?
Yes, Aztec warrior. So I mean,
Mhm.
but no, that's the thing with today's society. Unfortunately, man, it's just people are just the way they are. We have to watch what we say. We can't be canceled. We have to, keep it straightforward and politically correct. And mind you, I understand if you get offended over something, but you can't get offended over everything. Every little thing you can't get offended over.
And like like it's just there. If you're offended by something,
Mhm.
it means that someone made you reflect on you and look at yourself and look at your behavior. That's usually what it is. When someone says they're offended, it's because someone, for for in whatever way, for whatever reason, made them feel uncomfortable because they had to analyze their own behavior and their own selves and question their own decisions. And people don't like to do that, Mike Larkin. People don't like to do that at all. They don't want to look at their own lies and analyze their own behavior. They want to look at everybody else. But when it comes to ourselves, we don't really like to do a lot of self-examination.
No.
Uh, which is that's where that whole mentality comes from. That's why people are always getting offended, because they don't want to examine themselves. They don't want to look at their own
You're right.
situations.
And I look at it from a comparison of like we're in our 30s now. So I'm like, we're at the age where I don't personally, to be honest with you, we all want that LOA, as I like to call it, the level of acceptance. But as I've gotten to 30, I don't give a fuck anymore. If you like me, you like cool.
Yes.
So you
Yeah.
have to look at it like that because again, I'm you know me, I'm the nicest guy. Have I gone down a bad road before? Absolutely. Have I done bad things in my life? Absolutely. Same with
We
you.
all we all have.
We all have.
I have
We're
too.
human. Right. We're human. We've all gone through our trials and tribulations. But if we better ourselves, and once we get to our 30s, and then we see this generation coming up and they think of us of a certain way, or anybody in general, when you get to your 30s, you don't give a fuck. You're just like, all right, this person doesn't like me. You know why? Because I like me. And we move onward and upward. That's what you have to do. You'll find that once you hit a certain age, and I found it to be 30 or 31, you're going to find the way where it's just like, you know what? Fuck it. I don't care what people think. I'm going to hang out who I want to. I'm going to do what I want to and let it be. You're going to find
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Amen. Amen. I think I figured that out around 28 or 29.
Yeah,
But
I was a little bit like around that time too. I'm going to say
yeah,
I was more 27, 28. Yeah, you're right.
yeah, it's around that, late 20s, around that age that you just start to realize that,
You stop giving a fuck and the world is bullshit.
well, you know what it is? You know what? Well, Fiona Apple was right. Well,
Yeah.
you know what it is though? You start to, well, the smart people anyway, start to take stock and inventory of their lives,
Yep.
and they do a lot of introspection and a lot of retrospection. As you know, I've been doing a lot lately. I made a lot of revelations of my own and made a lot of really special connections from my past through that, and it's been very, very rewarding for me. And you just start to when you do that, you start to realize the things in life that you really care about. And once you figure out, Michael Larkin, what you do care about, you start to realize that, oh my God, there is so much other shit that I do not give a crap. Most other stuff I do not give a fuck about
Yep. I've been
at
there.
all.
Yep. I'm starting to realize that too, because again, being myself, who I am for the past 30 years, once you start like, again, I like to please people. I've noticed I've liked to please people. I like to do this and that. But the problem is looking at myself and my reflections as well. I was just, just stuck. You know what I'm saying? And I cared too much as opposed to, not. And I've had that self-revelation where it's just like, man, I can't keep myself in situations where I don't enjoy it or I'm not happy. Why do I suffocate myself with all this toxicity and negativity? Why don't I go find something that I do that I love that's positive, like this, or spend more time with my family, or do what I love. I can't be sitting in a place of toxicity and negativity because it's going to consume you and some bad shit's going to happen for you and you're going to act out. You know what I'm saying? We have to be aware of our surroundings and surround ourselves with what we like and who we like, what we love and who we are, and surround ourselves with a lot of positivity. I mean, we mentioned that earlier, positivity, but the fucking surroundings are the best part about it, man. Like, you can't be in a toxic situation, whether it be friendships or what have you. Shit, you have to learn. It's okay to cut ties, or people, outgrow each other or what have you. That's not a bad thing. You can't be angry about that. Sometimes it happens. Life happens.
And just think about this, like, it's literally impossible.
Yep.
For everyone that you come across or that knows you is going to like you.
No, absolutely not.
You are never going to make everyone happy. It's literally impossible. So the only person at the end of the day who you should be worried about making happy is you.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else. And I'm not saying that in like a selfish way. Definitely worry still about other people's happiness too, the people that you care about, that you know that you care about.
Mm-hmm.
That should be important to you too. But in order for you to help them and enrich their lives, you first need to have all of your shit in order and be in a reasonably happy place before you can start tending to other people, whether it's your family or your friends or whatever. You need to be in a good place and a good centered place more than anything first, and then you can worry about everybody else. But you start to realize that your happiness is so paramount to your well-being.
And that's the thing too. Like, I always say this, I could, as I always say, you can count your friends on one hand, and number one for me is this dude right here. This dude is my number one, my ride or die here. And obviously I have family, but this dude is at number one on the list. I can count him on my own hands in my close inner circle.
You've already called me number one like 5 times today. I mean, every time you hold you that finger up, you're like, oh, number one, number one.
I was giving you that view, you son of a bitch. But no.
Yeah.
Derp. I'll sleep on my fucking couch and make you go watch Grown Ups again. How about that?
Yeah, like you did that on purpose, my luck.
was,
You fell asleep.
I
Look at
don't
him
know, man.
he's trying to spin him falling asleep in the middle of the day, missing a movie theater thing that we had going. To his credit, he's trying to spin it to his credit.
Look at me, I'm sleeping right now. I'm sleeping. I'm sleeping right now.
Look, how, like you have a Mike Larkin, you're growing a pair. I love this. You actually trying to spin you falling asleep and flat leaving me to your credit, like you
Absolutely.
did something amazing and good.
Absolutely. Kiss yourself for me, Philip Michael Thomas. Mwah. Kiss yourself.
Yeah, you know your grandma loved Philip Michael Thomas, Mike
God
Larkin. I
rest,
noticed that.
God rest her soul.
It
Hi, I'm
was
Philip Michael Thomas.
he
Stop it.
got her to say one of her favorite words, huh, Mike Larkin?
How about you stop it? You son Hi, I'm Philip Michael Thomas. No, but no, that was still bad. Dude, I still the fact that you brought that up, that you have the fact that you brought up the conversation of friggin' us having this on Facebook, where it was just like, Mike Larkin, what happened, man? I'm not gonna lie, I'm still a little angry about that, but it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Because we had this whole like you were mad at me for like I don't know how many days, but you're like, it's okay though. You know, you're like, I don't know how
But
long.
I'm okay though.
I'm okay though. But no, you were mad for like a little bit. She's like, Mike Larkin, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little mad right now, like Mike Larkin. You know what I'm saying? You were not happy because you and your sister got to see Grown Ups, and I didn't get to see that lovely movie. And Paige,
Mike Larkin, it wasn't because I didn't get to see. It wasn't because I didn't get to see that other movie and I had to see Grown Ups. It was.
You hear about
It
that?
was because Mike Larkin. It was because you didn't show up,
I
Mike
know.
Larkin. I didn't could care less about the fucking movie.
You might want to see Grown Ups. It's okay. You have another appreciation for
Oh
Kevin
my
James.
God. It was so terrible. Larkin, like, how does he keep getting employed? Oh
Because people love Kevin James, man. People love them.
my God.
You hate them so.
People love some crazy stuff. Like there are some people love sticking light bulbs up their asses. It doesn't mean that It's,
On the next episode of Jackass. Yes.
wow, now.
Speaking of what's funny is that you and I have talked about this as well from that MTV time period. They do have on YouTube the full episode of MTV True Life. I'm a Backyard Wrestler. We've had it. We've had some good shows, and depending on what we've had, that's not too bad. A couple broken ankles. Whoa, 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 whoa.
No.
A couple of broken ankles.
Broken ankles? Like
you're okay with that? Like
you don't think they need to go to the hospital for
the
that?
hospital?
Like
No,
shouldn't you be calling an ambulance for that? Like
just a couple of broken ankles. Oh, nothing. No, it's okay. It's okay. Fucking put some crazy glue on it. You know what I'm saying? Fucking crazy glue your wounds. Fuck. Oh God.
I mean, it's not like if they beat each other's brains in, they're gonna like lose anything.
No, and I hate to say that, but friggin' the Cosmic Smasher, I do this for her. I do this for her. Emma Bunn, aka Baby Spice. And then
we love Baby Spice, by the way.
I love
we love Baby Spice, but he's got like a cutout magazine picture of her thumbtacked to his wood panel wall.
Yep.
Oh my God, it's just so cringe.
And he's like, I have to get so I can meet Emma Bunton. And I'm like, okay, you do you, buddy. But yeah, no.
I do not want to go over that room with the black light. That's all I'm gonna say, because that thing probably would glow like the heavens, Mike Larkin. Oh my God.
Well, that's
do not want to go over that room with the black light.
That is like the fucking Room Raiders on MTV back in the mid 2000s with the fucking spy kit and how they would get dates by kids.
Yeah, and they would sit in the car and watch on that old ass giant laptop.
Hi guys, my name is so and so, and you're on Room Raiders, and they're fucking guys, 3 guys or 3 girls, and they're getting dates based on how their rooms are. That was MTV back in mid 2000s. This was also the same year Pimp My Ride. So you got to.
That's a weird concept, Mike Larkin. Like the first interaction you have with a person is like literally going through their stuff.
Let me get this for this one. You got to hide the porn. Yep.
I mean, not even that. Like that's just creepy, Mike Larkin. Like that is just really creepy. Like going through someone's stuff to get to know them. Like that's the kind of shit that like stalkers do.
Well, that's the problem at the end too. You brought up another great point, because after they would go through the person's room, they'd be like, "What I liked about their room was, I think it's really cool that he has that poster right there because I love Janet Jackson, and I really like the fact that he has this on his desk. He has a book. That means that he's smart and he's very intuitive and he's very intelligent, and I really, really, really think he's cool." And that would have that whole dichotomy afterwards. So yeah,
I mean, that's just
It's
weird.
It's
But it was weird.
It was weird. They were weird looking. See that guy's balls? Weird looking. Hi. Yeah, sure. It's no problem. Oh, well, I really am sorry. Would you like to go get some coffee sometime? Sure. I like that. Crosses it out with the chapstick.
Gee, I'm glad I called that guy.
That's a big. But yeah, no, that show was creepy. No, what was even worse about Pimp My Ride is that I remember that they had a video game, and it's probably, I'll say this to anybody, it's probably one of the boringest video games in the history of video games. It's just you collect all these coins, and then you go to this person's ride, you pimp it, then you get to go into Pimp City, as it is the storyline, and you get to do like breakdancing and fucking doing moves with your car. Oh, it's horrible. It's fucking
okay. Question. Yes. Is it worse than 50 Cent Blood on the Sand?
Oh my God, you're gonna do this to me. Okay. All right. If I had to pick, what would I rather do? Would I rather pimp rides and do like cool dance moves and cool tricks with the car as I'm going on my way to pimp that person's ride and like put accessories in their van and shit? Or would I play that? I'll take Pimp My Ride.
Wow. Wow.
I take Pimp My Ride all day, every day.
Okay. Blood on the Sand.
Yes.
Or
yes.
SOCOM.
Go home and play SOCOM. You want to go home and play SOCOM?
Now there is a great high school memory because we looked, me and you
looked at this.
Like just connected and just gave each other that look with like, is he really fucking saying he wants to go home and play SOCOM right now?
Not like Call of Duty or anything of that matter.
Or GTA. Like, come on. What teenage boy doesn't fucking love GTA? Like, of all the games in the entire world that has ever been created,
you want to go home and play SOCOM.
Like, goddamn, like if he said Custer's Revenge, I would be like more like, okay, like then freaking SOCOM.
Give me like a fucking Vice City, San Andreas, like anything than that. Like SOCOM? Like what? But yeah,
like, dude, Pong. Go play Pong instead of freaking SOCOM. Like, come on.
Go on your freaking PS1 and play the Namco series with fucking, all those freaking things and the oh god, it was so bad.
Yeah, see, then like we were saying this is in high school. What a great resource remember that is, by the way. But we're in high school and then like a couple years later, like the kids start getting into this Minecraft shit.
Yes.
Which looks like they make it like intentionally look bad. So now it's like that began like it was like the start of like me getting older because it was like one of the first times I started to say, oh, it doesn't make sense to me anymore.
Yep, I've had
Mike Larkin, like that's when I started to be like, oh crap. I don't understand the appeal of this. I'm losing my grip. I'm losing my touch.
I don't get it.
I'm coming, Elizabeth.
I'm coming. But no, that's the thing too. Like I can't take nowadays. Like TikTok, like again, I have it for LFC, but I don't get it. I think it's the dumbest shit ever. You know what I'm saying? Just like
scroll. Already had this conversation. Stay off of TikTok, Mike Larkin.
I'm just paying. I know. Well, first of all, your sister has a TikTok, and the fact that I got to see you and your many different.
Why do you have to bring that up, Mike?
Because it was great, and she got you while you were working out, wearing your T-shirts, and it's amazing.
Wait, that was a TikTok?
Yes, that was on TikTok.
Crap, I'm on TikTok, Mike Larkin.
Yes.
Me and my incredibly awesome kick-ass graphic tees are on TikTok right now.
That's your sister.
Oh.
Hi, Jackie.
Hi, Kyla. No.
Your sister's yeah, that was that she put that on TikTok. If you guys want to go, I'll put the link in there so everybody can go
Of
see.
course he will. Yeah. If you want to get spied on by the Chinese, then go ahead, go right over to TikTok and
You're gonna do that. Okay.
But you know what though? It's worth it because my t-shirts do kick ass. So, it's worth having, some guy in China track all of your activity.
Hold on here, my brother. You have the same shirt I had that you were wearing. You were wearing a Boobies Make Me Smile shirt. I have a Boobies Make Me Smile shirt. This is
Logan, that's so crazy. I've had mine for 9 years. How long have you had yours?
About 7. Yeah. I can watch it.
Logan, I got that like 3 months ago.
Wow. Okay. Whatever. I've had it longer than you, but still, it's
I don't know what you're talking about, Michael.
Whatever. It's a fucking great shirt. It's a Boobies Make Me Smile.
That's why I got it. That's why I got it.
It has a smiley face on it, and it's fucking great. Okay? People will say what it is. It's funny. I actually remember when I was going to the post office one time, and a woman looked at that t-shirt because I wore it out, and she looked at me, and I thought she literally wanted to, like, punch me in the face because she was looking at me like, and then she just pointed and smiled. She's like, that's a funny t-shirt. And I'm like, you could just say that's a funny t-shirt. I don't know why you had to look at me like you wanted to punch me in the face, but okay.
Well, Mike Larkin, you kind of bring that reaction out in everybody, Mike Larkin. It's just a natural reaction when people see you. Just be like, oh my God. It's like, it's like when people see Frankenstein, they want to like get pitchforks and throw them off. You have like the Frankenstein effect thing going on, Mike Larkin. Like,
yes.
You know what I'm saying, dog? Like,
of course. It's me. Just everybody wants
No, I'm kidding. I got a story for you. You ready? Did I tell you about this yet? Y'all ready for this?
I'm ready for this.
Prepare for total domination.
Hit me.
Oh, I would if I could, Mike Larkin.
I would if I could.
So over the summer, I went to a outdoor concert with my parents.
Yes.
Who are boomers and are now retirement age.
Yes.
But I like a lot of their music, not all, a lot of their music. And went to see Glenn Tilbrook from Squeeze.
Okay.
Playing out east on Long Island at one of the breweries. And so it's an outdoor concert, a crowd of about 200 people, and it's all 45 to like 65-year-olds, 70-year-olds, in my parents' age range. So I wore my BLM shirt, Mike Larkin.
Oh my God. Okay.
Now, my BLM shirt, it's black and it says BLM in white lettering, but also it does not mean Black Lives Matter, Mike Larkin.
Okay, what does the BLM stand for?
Bang local MILFs, Mike Larkin.
Okay, you see, I'm already applauding that. Bravo. Well played, sir. Yes.
Mike Larkin, first of all, my parents were horrified the entire night.
What did they say? What did they say?
I can't believe you wore that shirt out. I cannot believe that you wore that shirt. We're like sitting at the ice cream place afterwards, and they're like, I still can't believe you wore that shirt. I can't believe you walked out of the house with that shirt. I'm like, yep.
I'm going to wear it. Yeah.
I fucking, you should have seen some of the looks I was getting from the husbands, Mike Larkin. There are few things more gratifying than striking fear in the eyes of a middle-aged man. I saw real fear from grown men from me wearing this shirt. A younger kid saying he wants to bang their wives. Like, that's power, Mike Larkin, okay? When I wear that shirt and I go in public, I have power because I make grown men scared. Okay, I'm like legitimately, like I saw legitimate fear in men's eyes. It was awesome.
All right, you got me. That's an awesome nickname. But yeah, no.
They're gonna call Dale Dad now. I've been gone for 3 hours.
It's gone for 3 hours. Get it? Fire me from the tape. You cruelly pasted your face on the mat. Hey, Ricky. Hey, Ricky, how's it going? Well, thanks for stopping by. Talking about this is my house. Oh shit!
Hey man, how do you get the TV and the radio on at the same time?
Why do you want to have the TV and the radio on at the same time? Because
Because I like to party. Man, why am I still talking to you? Don't you have the
All right, man. Talk to you tomorrow. All right, man.
All right, man. Talk to you tomorrow.
That is literally our friendship in a nutshell. Like he'll talk to me exactly. I've had the moments where you talk to me at 2:30 in the morning. Like we'll have our talks, and I just at the point where I have to slip in. Man, it's 2:30 in the morning. I'm trying to sleep. Come on, it's 2:30 in the morning. Oh, that is our friendship in a nutshell.
You are the Dale to my Ricky.
I will definitely. I will take that. You know what I'm saying? Abracadabra, Holmes.
No. Boom, boom, boom. Magic.
Now you don't.
Now you see us.
Now
Now
you
you don't.
It's great. And the best part is, dude, she got turned on by that when he goes abracadabra, Holmes, and he fucking like slits him. You know what I'm saying? Gives a little pop. You know what I'm saying to him? And she just looks at him like, I love. Hey, driver, drive these.
Please be 18.
Let's go get kicked out of an Applebee's. Why you want to go get kicked out of an Applebee's? I can't go to. First of all, there's no Applebee's now here in Myrtle Beach. Like, really, there's none anymore. They fucking it got right out. It was out of business here because it wasn't doing well. So now there's a bank here, and there's only one.
How is that possible that an Applebee's doesn't do well?
I don't know, depending on whatever restaurants was around, but there's no Applebee's in
Was it because of the Chili's? I know there's a Chili's around there.
Yes, it might have been the Chili's. It might have been one of those, but yeah, no more Applebee's. It's now a bank over there.
Come here, little baby.
Get in my belly.
Come here, I want to eat ya.
I went on the Subway diet like Jared.
I lost 300 pounds.
But
my neck looks like a vagina.
Oh, but yeah, no. So there's no Applebee's until like.
That's how you know what one looks like, right, Mike Larkin?
Shut up. So there's no Applebee's until like fucking North Myrtle Beach or any other place. Like there's hardly any Applebee's around here anymore. Like you have to go like out of town, and it sucks because I love Applebee's. And anytime I go into Applebee's, I just think, why don't we go let's go out tonight. Let's go have a gourmet meal. I think you meant to put the onions on my damn self.
Applebee's has rats. That was my concept.
At the best, he's like, I hate to be a pain, but I specifically asked for no onions on the salad. Sorry, sir. Don't interrupt me. I think you meant to put the onions on my damn salad.
Gary Coleman. Not Gary Coleman.
Or Gary Coleman. What about
Gary Coleman?
Oh God. And I also think back to your favorite WCW. There's a little different strokes for you, fucking Jeff Jarrett. What are you looking at, Slap Nuts?
Oh my God, that's one of my favorites, Mike Larkin.
And he's
him
still
and Beetlejuice.
And he's still wrestling at 53, and he's on fucking TV still. That freaking man. Oh, Slap Nuts is now on AEW on TNT now. Oh, fucking Slap Nuts. Anyway, Jeff Jarrett aside, that is still, even though it was a terrible time period, that was still one of the best moments in WCW. What are you looking at, Slap Nuts? He just hit Beetlejuice.
he because he like goes to walk away and then he comes back with the
fucking El Kabong right to Beetlejuice with the guitar. Poor fucking Beetlejuice.
Oh, I love it. That's a great clip.
It is.
That is a great clip. I love that clip.
That documentary's coming out next week too, which is going to be interesting. The 9 Lives of Vince McMahon on Vice. That's going to be an interesting documentary.
Oh boy, yeah. He could still be in a little trouble, right? Mike Larkin. He could still
absolutely, man.
Oh boy.
Well, that's the thing about it too now. I mean, now that Triple H is in charge, it's got a lot of stuff to it's got a lot of growing pains still, but it's a tolerable product than when the old man was there. So
yeah.
I mean,
You
I'm okay.
know,
But I mean, with everything that's going on now with the Vince McMahon, it's going to be very interesting to see. But yeah, no, he did it to himself. The problem is a lot of them knew it for years, but you didn't want to say anything, especially the girls, because they wanted to keep their jobs. So I mean, it is what
yeah,
it was a different time too back then. Like with what we see now, and I always make this reference. If people nowadays who are wrestling fans and you would watch a wrestling show or any show in particular and you'd see Girls Gone Wild commercials, and if you saw that now, oh, everybody would be in uproar like we talk about with Cisco and the Thong Song. Now
yeah.
mind you, Joe Francis is a piece of fucking shit.
He's a scumbag. He's a scumbag. Like can we be real? Like unequivocally, he's a
Fucking
scumbag.
scumbag, bro. He's a
But
fucking
when we were in high school, oh those oh we gotta get those videos. Oh right, Michael Clarkin, like oh like, every time that was commercial come on, I'd be like oh whoa, Girls Gone Wild, it's so cool, and now it's like
you fucking
ooh.
ugh. No, you're right. Because when I was in high school, that fucking yeah, that was '07. They played those a lot. So like that was
Yeah, late 2000s, early 2000, early
really
2010s maybe.
like
Yeah, it was.
you wanted to see it, but yeah, then now it's just like you look back in it and it's fucking dirty. You feel dirty.
Yeah, it's growing. It's a cringy. It's a cringeworthy. Right? Like
Well, those commercials were also very cheesy and corny, even though it was just like lift up your top and go woo. That was the premise of the commercial. Lift up your
yeah,
top.
but like but the whole thing is like
The whole thing is
they're barely legal girls. Like
yes.
some maybe not even. Like
Some are like fucking 16, 17-year-old girls, not
yeah,
even.
it's very very skeevy
It
now.
gives you the skeeds, man. Gives you the
Yeah.
but no, that was like a different time period than what we have now. And it's funny, like everybody brings up that old clip where LeBron James was at a friggin' Raw and he had a flip phone, and everybody's like, "Oh, remember the flip phones?" Yeah, because that was my first cell phone. My first cell phone when I was in middle school was a flip phone. And we talked about this.
Your parents were cool. They gave you one in middle school. See, I didn't even get one till high school. And
Wow,
I don't even think I got one till my senior year
are you serious?
because after missing the bus a couple 20 times, going home and having to go to the office and call my parents, I made enough of us think about it and was like, I think I'm old enough to handle a cell phone now. I think you really need to give me a cell phone because things are gonna happen and I might need it. And those very nice ladies in the main office are only gonna tolerate me for so long. Because I told you stories. Like I had to walk home from school
Yep.
like a couple times, like literally like across town.
All right, hold on. We got to bring this up. So where he used to live compared to where I used to live. So in high school around that time, like '07, I was still living in Islip Terrace. So I was right around the corner from the school. Then once we got to, later on in my high school tenure, I lived in East Islip, which is still of a walk, but it's not as bad as walk as he was because he had to walk all the way
Yeah,
around.
here's how it works. The schools are all tucked away, as you know, Mike Larkin, in like their own little corner of the town. They're like pretty isolated compared to the rest of the town, which is like really weird compared to most other towns. But they're like nestled away in like the northeast corner of town.
Yep.
And I lived all the way on like the south side of town toward like the South Shore.
Beat me on the
So I had to walk all the way south from the most north side of town to almost the most south side of town, which is like I don't know how many miles. It's more than 2 miles.
It's not 100 miles because then you would
It's
walk 500 more.
da-dum, da-da.
Yes, but so you had a long walk, man.
So I had to do that. I do that twice because my dad wouldn't pick me up because he was still at work and he was like, "I'm not leaving work to pick you up." Oh, okay, Dad. All right.
That's fine. I'll walk.
You do you. I guess I'll walk. And then there are other times where like, well, because also when I was in, there was this issue too because when I was in 10th grade, this happened because the budget failed. This happened on the 10th grade. The budget failed, and there was no late buses.
Yes, I remember that. You're right. No, you're right.
And that was why I had to walk home. There were no late buses that year. And then, like, even when there were late buses, they would only come like maybe once an hour. And, I gotta go home and do what I gotta do at home. I can't be waiting around school for another hour.
Right.
You know, I mean, I'm better off just, I could get at least halfway home in an hour, and then you spend on however long you would do on the bus anyway. So it would be end up being almost the same amount of time driving on the late bus as you would walking home. So, but anyway, so long story short, I got a cell phone my senior year in high school.
Okay. So I remember when I first got it. So my dad, we were just like, it was my seventh, it was either seventh or eighth grade. I'm going to say seventh. Okay. So yeah, seventh grade. Remember having that, loved the flip phone, just, normal stuff. But yeah, my parents are just like, hey, I think you're cool to have a cell phone. And my dad bought me a cell phone. And then boom, you know what I'm saying?
So, what one was yours? A Nokia?
I think mine was the Motorola.
I had a Motorola too, Michael
Yeah,
Larkin.
buddy. Okay.
I also had a Motorola flip phone, and I remember how long it used to take to text someone because you had to cycle through each letter on the number pad.
Yes.
There was no keyboard.
Yeah, youngins before
So
we had to cycle
yeah,
or what we have now. Absolutely. We had such a pain with those flip phones back in the day.
my Larkin, is it's actually kind of like crazy how much things have already changed since we left high school. Like it doesn't even feel like it was that long. But first of all, it was more than a decade. And second of all, technology has come a really long way since 2009, 2010.
Yes, it has.
I mean, as crazy as that is to think about, that's the truth. Like a lot has changed um, in just a short amount of time or seemingly short amount of time since we've been out of high school.
Yeah.
I mean, that's when you really think about how much things have. I mean, look at what we're doing now. We're gonna we couldn't do something like this then.
Well, we didn't have Zoom and Skype and
Yeah,
everything.
we didn't have this type of
Technology.
technology then.
No.
Like we didn't have, you couldn't do
Even
this nearly as easy. You could do it. I mean, people did podcasts back then, but
not like
you need a lot more stuff and a lot more. It was a lot more complicated than it is now. It's much more simple now. You needed to go. It was a whole thing back then.
well, yeah, nowadays with how you record shows, you have Zoom. And some people still use Skype, even though Skype sucks. And I'll say that. I've used it a couple times, but mostly I use this now because fucking Zoom is the shit. You can use Zencaster, which is sort of like this, but you just send a link and then boom, you could start the show. But yeah, there's a lot of different ways to use platforms to do audios and record now. Back in the day, like you fucking remember our setup. We just had we had Sonar Lee. We had like that mic I used to have. And it was fine.
Yeah,
But it
yeah,
was
and I mean, even that was 2015.
yeah, and it's
And
false.
yeah, I was already out of high school for 6 years. Which even then that sounds crazy to me. Like it doesn't sound like it was that long of a time, but 6 years is a
Long time around that time. Yeah,
I think it's crazy now how time seems like it's going so much faster now that we're older. You know what I mean? Like, doesn't it feel that way now? It doesn't. Like, I feel like January 1st was like yesterday, Mike Larkin. Like, that's how I feel. Like, it does not. I mean, yeah, obviously a lot of things have happened since then, but it really doesn't. Like, a year doesn't feel the way a year used to feel.
no, like this year really, really went quick. It really, it really did. But that's the thing, man. We all get older, we all get wiser, and we all just, we all go with the times. And I got to say this because it is Christmas and because we've had this discussion, but I love it every time because I think of you. Fucking our schools never goddamn closed for snow days or nothing. And the fact that your mom almost got into an accident, much like my mom did, and I almost fell going into the school, but I caught myself. Like that, our school district never, ever closed, hardly ever, 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 due to friggin' snow. Nothing. They friggin' nothing. We have to walk into like a foot of snow. Nothing. Nothing.
I'm sorry, Mr. Jackson.
But nothing.
Like Mike Larkin, like we would be watching the news in the morning.
Yep.
And literally every other school in the area would be closed.
Yep.
But not us.
Oh no, not at all.
Not us though. We would be waiting. Oh, you'd go back in, again, back in the day, you had to actually watch the news or listen to the radio to get the school closings, or maybe they gave you a call. But usually you'd be on the radio or on the news, and it's the bottom ticker would have all the school closings, and they'd be in alphabetical order, and then you'd wait for D and then E, and then EA would come up,
And
and it
then
would be like, EAG, or, and then get to the East. They would get to East, and then you'd be like, East, Hampton, East, all the East towns, and then it would cycle right by East Islip like it was nothing, and it'd be like, motherfucker, we have to fucking go to school in this shit. This is
right.
some fucking
That's
horseshit.
what they would do. Or either say open, or if they wouldn't say nothing because it's like, okay, yeah, we're gonna have to go to school, which fucking pissed me off. And or they even do the delays? Like, do they even do delays like maybe like an hour delay or 2 hour delay, or was it mostly
Uh,
just open?
I remember there may be a couple of delays. I don't remember a whole lot though.
Nah, yeah, I just remember it's
They
just
were
like
very stingy with any type of snow time. They were extremely stingy.
they never wanted.
Like,
They
to
never.
the point, and like Mike Larkin was saying, to the point where it was putting lives in danger.
Yep.
Like, me and my mom nearly died twice, skidding on black ice, nearly crashing the car into, a ditch or a tree or someone's house. Like, see, like, people's lives were at stake, and they just, that administration that was in charge um didn't really seem to care.
Well, they didn't want us to have to have school in the summer and derp and derp, and I'm like, no, like it's okay. It's you could
They
close.
wanted to give us assignment. It was like so disgusting.
It was ridiculous.
They tried to take away our summer, our sacred time. Anyone who willingly assigns children any type of work to do over this, no, I'm serious, is a terrible person and should not be involved in education.
Well, it pissed me off because we would read the damn books, and then you come back and they don't even talk about the goddamn book. They didn't even just read the book over the summer. We'll talk about it when we get there. No, you didn't. You just wanted us to read over the summer.
You know what it boiled down to? When I came back, the next fall?
What?
Oh, so did you do did you do the reading assignment? Oh, you did?
Cool.
All right, cool.
That was it. Exactly. So what I had, it was like, oh, here's read the book, do the fucking worksheet. Oh, did you do it? Cool.
So I wasted my summer for nothing, is what you're saying.
Yep. Because they made us do that summer reading for 9th, 10th, 11th grade. And yeah, it was bad.
Oh, did I have to do it for those grades too? I don't even remember. I remember being very, very upset.
Well, yeah.
I remember being very, very upset. And it's sad because English ended up becoming my favorite subject.
Yep.
And I still had no patience for that.
Oh, me
at
either.
all.
Me either.
I'm sorry. I'm not about that. You're not. How dare you try to take away my summer?
Fucking having to read James Patterson's When the Wind Blows and King Dork and all this shit.
And let's clarify something right now, Mike Larkin. It's not the teachers completely.
No.
It's not the teacher's fault. They have to teach the curriculum that's decided by the state and by the school district. It's not so much them. They're just trying to do their job.
Yes.
The problem is the people up top that are making horrible, horrible decisions
that want us to read over the fucking summer.
That just get, I guess they just get joy out of children suffering. I guess their tears sustain them or something. I don't know. I don't know.
I used to dread that. Actually, it's funny. My mom used to freaking be like that with me too, because she's like, "You got to read this over the summer." I'm like, "Yeah, we got to fucking read this." My mom hated it too.
No, Mike Larkin, I know exactly what you're saying. And you know what, Mike Larkin? It was actually very negative for me because it kind of, first of all, my parents were not the type to just let that stuff slide. And they won't expect me to do my assignments. And it kind of reinforced this thing that I already had going, that work had to be a chore. Mm-hmm. Because like, I didn't want to do that. That's not what I wanted to do over the summer. You were forcing me to do this. And it's like, where is the incentive? Like, how are you proving to me that there's some kind of incentive there? There was never any real well-established incentive for me to want to do that work. You're wasting my summer. Give me a good reason why I should do this. They never did that. They never even tried to do that.
You're right.
It took me, and that was kind of how I got, reinforced into the mindset I already had, was that, oh, if it's work, then it's a chore and it can't be fun. and education should always be painful. And I thought that way for many years until 11th grade. And then, you know, I finally found a teacher that began to change all that and change my perspective. And I am so much better for it.
Absolutely. We all have
Um,
teachers like that. I had a lot of teachers like that. Probably for me, uh, I have to probably say once I got to like eighth grade, ninth grade. Well, first of all, I'll say this. You know, I love my Italian teacher. That was one of my favorite classes because I love me my Italian teacher. And I'm gonna say this, Miss
yep.
Gray, I love you to death. You know what I'm saying? Voluptuosity factor
Oh,
and
are we giving shout outs on the air now, Mike Larkin?
strength and dominance, baby. But yeah, no, that's the that's the whole shebang. Watch me do my thing. Watch me do my thing. But that's the whole thing. But no, we did. That was the problem.
Mike Larkin, I can't do shout outs because there's too many of them to do. If I do one, I got to do like
All of them.
five of them. Yeah. And but
I know. I know you're talking
you
about.
know, you know who the most special one is. And I know, and I think she knows too.
It's all love.
Um,
It's all love on this pod,
it
bro.
is all love. It is all love. And I'll just say that, I was very lucky in many ways, Mike Larkin.
It's all the love for. Well, no, you're true, right? I mean, we all have our special teachers that we enjoy and that we love. That we really enjoy. Miss Carpenita.
No, not like that, Mike Larkin. No, no, no.
Miss Carpenita and her friggin' flower tattoo that I love so much.
I'm not talking about that though, Mike Larkin. I'm not talking about the
Oh, what
teachers
you're
that
talking about? I'm just doing this just to annoy you. So you know, it's just one of. The, I just also want to
No,
do.
my Larkin is the same thing.
I know.
In my case,
I know.
unfortunately.
I know, man. It's okay.
You are making me squirm right now, aren't you? You're
Know.
loving this. You're loving this. Oh.
But no,
If
that's
he's if he says her name, he's gonna be so embarrassed now. Oh, you just love the position. You just like
I only got one thing to say to that. I'll have that face says it all, folks.
I fucking hate you.
Oh, but yeah, no, that was our school in a nutshell. With friggin' bullshit, fucking reading and it's fucking snow days, and oh god, it sucks. But
It was a pretty mixed bag with a lot of raisins in it.
yeah, but no, but I
A
mean,
lot of dry raisins
dry raisins.
and some an occasional,
The plus is I met you.
peanut butter cups.
I know, but the plus is I met you, so that was a plus. That was always a
Oh, absolutely. That was one of the highlights of my career too in high school.
mm-hmm.
Was the friendship that we were able to establish, and like that's one of the two most important things that ever happened to me. I mean, like,
Well, I've always said this about you is like I was always the quiet kid, and I'll admit that right now. I'm very shy even still to this day. Even though you see me on here and I'll do this and I'll do that or what have you, but I'm still that shy kid, man. And you actually broke me out of my shyness. So I have to thank you for that. You know what I'm saying? Because you also did a lot.
Mike Larkin, I was trying to do that
I
for a
know.
while.
I know.
I was actively trying to do that.
Yep.
You've become like a little bit of like a project for me throughout my life now because I keep trying to like
Try to
get
get
you to like improve yourself but subversively, and now you start to figure it out. So I'm like, oh, he's learning.
Yep, I'm learning. You're never too old to keep. Well, you always keep learning. Doesn't matter what age, you keep learning. But yeah, no, that was the thing. Also, remember around that time when we started podcasting, with everything that was on after school, and one of the bits that we used to do, and I used to love it, was that fucking guy with his friggin' he killed everybody because he was like, you sexually, you sexually active people, I hate you. Hi. Elliot Rogers, and he fucking did that video. That was around the time when we started podcasting. That fucking guy killed everybody because they were sexually active and no girl wanted him. You fucking creep.
Well, yeah, he was an incel, and he was one of the first faces of the incel and the incel movement. Really, it's the incel movement. Incel means involuntarily celibate.
Yes.
And while you know not everybody who's an incel is a part of that movement, he kind of became the face of that movement, and people kind of used him as the poster child of like why incels are bad.
Yeah.
And that, and then remember the thing that we had the whole video he made, he had the manifesto, and I mean the whole thing really is just really sad. I remember when that happened, and it's a really it's a terribly tragic situation for everyone. But I don't excuse what he did, but you have to understand too, like these are pretty sad, very real circumstances that he was dealing with. He didn't deal with them in the best way, but
I think it
they
also
were very real and they affect a lot of people. They affect a lot of men. The
yeah.
things that he was going through, a lot of men. You would be surprised about how big of how big in numbers the incel demographic actually is
No, you're
among young men. It's I would estimate. I'm being real right now. I've heard that there's an estimate um around 50% of all young men from 18 to 30 are virgins, Michael Larkin. Like, this is a real thing. Like, this is affecting a lot of us.
yep.
And, us, I mean, younger men. And there's a lot of problems that we as young men in America have to deal with that aren't really getting talked about enough. But and I'm not going to go off on a but I will say that it's really important. We need to start taking better care of our young men.
Yeah,
I
true.
mean, if you have a young male adult in your life that you care about, really check in on them, see how they're doing, because it's rough right now. It's rough for a lot of us right now.
No, you're right, and that's the thing too. It also dives into mental health, and also the fact that you see how a person thinks, and you dive into their brain, and then you really start to realize the issues that they had or what causes this, and it really opens up to the broader spectrum. Like we really need to, really see what the person's going through, and not just automatically assume like craziness and stuff. What they're doing, there's fucked up people out there, but it's really interesting once you get to see what happens, and everything kind of starts to make sense. So I adhere to your sentiments. Check in on your loved ones. Check in on the young male population. Check in on what have you, because there's a lot of stuff and a lot of people going out through some stuff right now. And then you're right. You think a lot of it, like you mentioned with the Celebies things. There's 18 to 30-year-olds that are virgins, and it goes to that point. It could be to the point as well. Like, mind you, there are a lot of people from the religious side of things, and myself included. A lot of people want to wait till they get married, but then there's the other part of it. Then there's the other part of it where it's just like there's that affects a lot of people from the sexual stimulation, just not being sexually active, where it's just, no, you're right. And actually just thinking about it, just like you bring it into the spectrum, like it's really crazy to think about it, but it's something that's very true.
Do you know what's saving Western society right now, Mike Larkin?
What's that?
Three things: weed, porn, and video games. No, I'm serious, Mike Larkin. Like, because those are the things that are subduing a lot of these frustrated, lonely young men. And it's probably the reason why we're not having people like rioting in the streets and packs of young men running around, raping old ladies and, killing people, causing death and destruction wherever they go. Like I think that right now, those are some of the most important things that we have that are like propping up society right now. I don't think people realize just how important those things play a role in keeping men sane,
Well,
really.
okay. I'll adhere to you on two of the three. Porn, yes. Video games, yes. So I completely understand that. So no,
Well,
you're right.
I'm not saying everyone has to do all those things to
No,
be
right.
dude,
Exactly.
but any combination, any or all of those three things
Mhm,
are a huge saving grace to a lot of young men.
mhm. Because it's an
Who,
out. It's an
yeah,
outlet.
and they don't. A lot of us don't really have much. A lot of us are having trouble even getting employed. And if we have jobs, they're not great jobs, and we can't really do much with anything that we have. And so, like, I'm not gonna get too far into it. I don't want to seem like I'm crying. I'm not just talking about, this isn't about me. This is about
Everybody.
me and my peer. This is about everybody that is like us. I'm not just speaking from personal. I'm speaking, yeah, from personal experiences, my personal experiences as a man, and noticing not just my own situation, but other people's situations as well.
Like,
And yeah, I mean, really, like, this is something that it's really hard to be where we are right now in this time and place, and we need things to get us by. And right now, that's getting all of, because think about it. Like, if you get a group of young men who have feel like they have nothing left to lose and have no outlet. I mean, you know about Clarkin. I mean,
it's
it's
dangerous.
really, it's crazy to think about. Like, these are the things that are keeping us afloat right now, right? And I know it sounds funny, but think about it.
It's true. Well, I mean, for me, speaking from personal experience, a lot of people can do it. And I know we have two different outlets on stuff, which is fine. You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing about this, and I'll say this about our friendship that I love. You and I have rarely ever, if any times, have really like, because we have too much fun doing this. We don't have time to do this. You know what I'm saying? And that's
Yeah.
what I love about our friendship, because there's never any of this. But the fact of the matter is this, like, I'm very spiritual. My spirituality helps me out a lot. You know what I'm saying? That keeps me afloat, like it does a lot of people. For me, and I say this as well, like you mentioned those combinations. First of all, whether it be pornography or video games, it's an outlet for people to look at those images, because it stimulates one mind and stimulates the body externally. And then you see from the video game side of things, first of all, we've played video games since we were kids. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
something we've always loved. So when it comes to video games, it keeps people entertained and it keeps people going. So whatever it is that you do, to put it bluntly on here, video games, porn, what have you, enjoy yourself, do what makes you happy, because there's a lot of stuff of people out there that do suffer, and if they're not happy, and if they find an outlet that makes them happy, as long as you're not hurting yourself or you're hurting anybody, do what makes you happy and do what you love.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the whole point, is that, better to be doing things, you know, involving that stuff, or doing those things, or things that involve those things. Better that than, causing harm to yourself or someone else, right?
Well, you and I have been down that route with the harm stuff, and we've talked about it on the show. I look at it from a stance too as well. That's another part of the analyzation, dissecting, and deciphering of yourself and what you want to do. Do I really want to go down this road? I mean, the problem is people can help you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people can tell you, hey, man, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that to better help yourself? But you listen to them. But the other thing is, too, unless you take the accountability and you do what you need to do to really fix yourself, that's the end of the day. You have to do it for you, not for anybody else. You have to do it for you. So as long as you're doing what you're doing to get you back on that right path, or doing something that really stimulates yourself and also helps people and also can inspire and evoke emotion, strike a chord, baby, that's what you need to do, as far as, just doing yourself and
Yeah.
keep it on.
Yeah. I mean, look, self-care is so important.
Yep.
And if there's something that is taking pain away and getting you by and is helping you survive into the next day and without completely breaking down, then as long as it's not like hard drugs and is actually dangerous, like, then you should do that. Because if that type of thing really isn't harmful to your body, then it's helping you, it's constructive.
Yeah, like we talk about the argument with weed. Do I smoke weed? No, it's not my thing. You do, which is fine, because it helps you. There's stuff that helps people, and people can be highly functional people when they use weed, and that's fine. You know what I'm saying? If that helps you,
I'm a great example of that.
yes. And I said, I'm not, again, I'm not, I only tease you about that because with the smoke weed every day. But if that helps you get by, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? If you don't, if, like I said, my stuff is my spirituality. So whatever makes you happy, and weed does help people, calms them down. People can be highly functioning of it, and that's fine. And it's legal now. So If you enjoy it, do it. You're not hurting yourself. I've never heard of anybody, and it's always the funny. It goes back to the wrestling business. Like wrestlers die with steroids and overdoses and all this stuff, but you never heard of anybody dying from weed. So is what it is.
Like ever in the history
Ever in
of
the
like
history of
mankind. Like
yeah,
it's
nobody's
never happened.
well, that was the problem that they used to complain about because if you look at the wellness policies that they had back in wrestling back in the day, they would always, if you smoke weed, you would get busted for that. You know what I'm saying? If you had weed, they would bust them for weed. It's like, but hey, guys can take pills and drugs and like get fucking drunk, and but that's a fine. You know what I'm saying? But all this weed, and now it's become like legal within their wellness stuff. So I mean, it's crazy, but yeah, that's the thing. People need to really look to be more intuitive of what they're into. So
Yeah, I mean, I
it's great. It is what it is. But like I said,
yeah, we can, like, we can talk about that for hours. That's all. That's a whole
it's a
thing.
whole
That's a whole can of worms.
that's a whole can of worms in itself. But the point the point of this show today is to make you laugh, evoke emotions, listening to two best friends talk and shoot the breeze like they only can do. And I think we accustomed and I think we coordinated and really focused on that today, as I just made up words. And we coordinated like we really touched upon today. Excuse me. So, folks, I'd like to thank you for listening to another edition of the Steve and Mike Show. And, homie, before we even get out of here, I need you to promote Cool Spectrum because you're doing a lot of great things with your band. Let them know where we're going,
Oh,
brother.
yeah. So if you're in the New York area, I'm in a rock band called Cool Spectrum. We play classic rock. All of our members are on the spectrum, and we're very proud of that. And we love to play. We're pretty good, I think. And we've done a bunch of live shows already around Long Island, and we're going to be doing a few more. We have a couple of dates coming up in February at we have our R&RU show at 89 North, and we have a date at Rock City Dogs. The 89 North show is February 3rd. That's in Patchogue, and then Rock City Dogs on Bayshore February 9th at 7:30. We don't have a time for February 5th. Sorry, February 5th is the show. There's no time for that show for the R&RU show. But February 9th, Rock City Dogs, 7:30 in Bayshore. If you're in and around Long Island, come check us out. We always try to book more shows. We'll be putting up more shows, and if you want to book us, you can get in contact with me. We love playing shows. We love to play more shows, and Mike Larkins heard us play. He knows that we're the real deal. He knows what we're about. So yeah, if you're in the area, check us out.
Links in the description for the Twitter, the YouTube, and the Facebook, and a lot of stuff. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram for well, you don't have Twitter for Cool Spectrum yet, do you?
Not yet.
Okay. So the Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube for Steve's band Cool Spectrum will be in the descriptions below this show. And I'll let you go first, my homie G, to promote your social medias before I get into
Thank you, Mike Larkin, and I appreciate you letting me promote the band too. That's very cool of you. So me, I am on Instagram at Stevie Nicks now, just Stevie Nicks with a C, no CK. It's STEVIENICS on Instagram. Twitter at Steve Nicks. I haven't been using that too much lately, but I'm on there if you wanna check us out. And then
I don't mean to cut you off, but you have hardly ever used Steve Nicks SM anymore.
I use it sometimes. I used it last night, but it's not like all the time anymore.
All right, and promote. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Keep going. I interrupted you.
What else did I miss?
Isles Historical.
Oh, and NHL history. If you're into that, Isles Historical, about the history of the New York Islanders. That's on Twitter at Isles Historical. YouTube at Real Islanders Pride.
You forgot
Islanders Pride or Real Islanders yeah, well, it's Islanders Pride on YouTube.
I'll put it in the description. And also, I got one more.
What am I missing?
Stevie Nicks Hockey Experience.
Oh yes, and well, we have to get back on that too a little bit. At SNHE Pod on Twitter. Throw us a follow too. We'll be more active with that in the coming. All of these, I think we're going to be a little more active on in the coming days and months. So,
well, yeah,
definitely,
definitely
worth a follow if you want to keep in touch with everything that's going on in my world and in the S&M worlds and all that stuff. So,
all right. Now, I will say this. Please give them a follow because the links will be in the description. We'll be more active in the upcoming months. Like I said, we do this show once a month to stay consistent, and we'll get back to more Stevie Nicks hockey experience and finding guests. But right now, it's nuts because it's holiday time, folks. So,
Yeah.
if you want to follow yours truly, you can check me out, SM Show 1 or MCL92 on the Twitter machine. I have my pop culture pod, but I'll be honest, I've been busy with other stuff. I've hardly ever done that anymore. So I see, I'm like you. I hardly have done a lot of shows either, so it's okay. You guys can check out Pop Culture Pod on Twitter. Links will be in the description. You can check out SM Show 1. I mentioned MCL92. Larkin_92 and M Larkin MB. You could subscribe to the YouTube channel where this show will be, as well as other many shows from S&M and many other great shows. I know you have the YouTube. I'll go back to you for this. Promote the clips. What's the clips YouTube?
Oh, that's right. So we have a clips channel now on YouTube. We're gonna start posting like shorter highlight, more digestible clips of the show, and I believe it's S&M Show Clips on YouTube.
S&M Show Clips.
S&M Show Clips on YouTube. Nothing is on there as of this recording, but that's going to change very quickly because we're going to start cranking some stuff out. And so that's definitely worth a follow or subscribe.
Well, yeah, and we're on video now, so you'll see our faces more often, and yeah, and you can also listen to the show audio wise. I know we have a lot going on here, but SoundCloud is MC Larkin 92. I still use that to put this show on there. We are also on Anchor, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, and wherever audio platforms you can get, and it'll be more in the future. But yeah, we're on some audio platforms, some of the big ones, so you can listen to this show, and you can go back to StephenMikeShow.com. That's very important, StephenMikeShow.com, to check it all out. And yeah, that's the whole kit and caboodle. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Subscribe to Islanders Pride because my homie G over here puts some of the best darn Islanders content out there, my friend.
Thank you.
Very welcome. So follow us. Thank you all for listening, and we will talk to you in the next episode. We will see you after the holidays.
Peace.
Peace.